Greetings from MWN.com. I am Dr. M. Wilson is happy to welcome for this session of Economy This Week by MWN.com dated the 24th of June 2024. Advisors. 1. Dr. K. Selvianthambi Raj. Formerly Head of Commerce and Research Center, Scott Christian College, Nagarkoil. 2. Mr. Niraj Pandey. Managing Partner, Himalaya Publishing House, Bangalore. 3. Dr. Suresh Mishra. Professor, Public Administration, Indian Institute of Public Administration, New Delhi. 4. Dr. Rajendran Govender. Social Cohesion Advocate, Government of South Africa, Ford and IBSA Fellow. Editor's Desk. Greetings from MWN.com. This e-bulletin, Economy This Week by MWN.com contains latest in economy and society, articles, economic indicators, inspirational quotes, moral story, education and sports are included. In the education section, 5th chapter named, Single OR Output Costing, from my textbook, Accounting for Management, is included. The textbook Accounting for Management is meant for MBA of all universities of India and neighboring countries. In the article section, an article entitled Good Strategy for More Value authored by Alex Brookman, WSJ best-selling author. Strategy Facilitator for Executive Teams. Fractional CSO. Speaker, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and an article entitled, Happiness is a Matter of Choice, written by me is included. In the last issue of the e-bulletin I have written an article entitled Gossip is an Indicator for Measuring the Managerial Capability. I mentioned an example of a professor. The professor is none other than myself. I hesitate to reveal it since I felt it's an insult to others. Moreover, nobody can identify whom I'm blaming since I worked in 3 institutions after my retirement, say institutions A, B, C. If A blames me that you are insulting us, I will say you are not and it's any one of B and C. If B blames me that you are insulting us, then I will say you are not, it's any one of A and B. If C blames me that you are insulting us, then I will say you are not, it's any one of A and B. This is because I have not mentioned the name of the institution. Let them play a musical chair game and find out. I have written this since there is a need for them to correct themselves. Finally, I felt that the managements are below standard to the level of students admitted. I wish to share some of my experience in these institutions, say about less than 5% only in the institutions I worked. In all the 3 institutions I worked after the retirement, I did some extra work after the handling of classes. In one institution, I organized an international conference with 3 chief guests from Sri Lanka. In one college, a webinar was organized with foreign speakers from South Africa and Vienna, and a proceeding was brought out. In other 2 colleges, also 2 proceedings are brought out. In one institution, I organized a seminar, donated 100 hard-earned collection of textbooks to the institution, bought an amplifier, a second-hand laptop for 7,000 rupees, a projector for 9,500 rupees to make the teachers to handle classes. Also published monthly periodicals for 7 months and created a website for the department. When I was in charge of BCom, BBA departments, I took my level best to make the teachers to handle the classes. Since there are only 2 good teachers out of 12, there was a strong opposition by the other teachers for the initiative taken by the professor. Hence, they encouraged a student to write petition about the concerned professor with false allegations. My earnest appeal to students of UG, PG and research scholars to read particularly the section Economy This Week and diagrammatic presentation of economic indicators few times to get a clear picture about the economy. This will help them to empower and face interviews and to become more dynamic. I hereby express my profound gratitude to the sources Google and Financial Express. Content. I. Important highlights of economy and society. 2. Articles. 1. Good strategy for more value. Alex Brookman, WSJ best-selling author. Strategy Facilitator for Executive Teams. Fractional CSO. Speaker. Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. 2. Happiness. A Matter of Choice. Dr. M. Wilson, formerly Vice Principal and Head of Commerce and Research Center, Scott Christian College, Autonomous Nagarkoil. 3. Economy This Week. IV. Diagramatic and graphic representation of economic indicators. V. Inspirational quotes. V. Moral story. 7. Education. Accounting for Management. MBA of all universities of India and for CA, ICWAI, and CAIIB. Dr. M. Wilson, M.Com, MBA, DBA, M. Phil, Ph.D. Chapter 5 Single OR Output Costing. 8. Sports. Important highlights of economy and SOCIET. Spacewalks, facts and figures. The first ever spacewalk was performed by Russian cosmonaut Alexei Leonov in March 1965 and lasted 24 minutes. The first untethered EVA was carried out by Bruce McCandless II in February 1984, during a mission of the Space Shuttle Challenger. The first woman to do an EVA was cosmonaut Svetlana Savitskaya. She left the Salyut 7 space station for a spacewalk in July 1984. The first European astronaut to perform a spacewalk was Jean-Luc Chrétien during his 3-week stay on the Mir space station in 1988. The most experienced spacewalker in the world is Anatoly Soloviev. With 16 spacewalks and a total of 77 hours and 41 minutes outside of a spacecraft, he holds the record for the most EVAs performed. The most experienced spacewalker in the European Astronaut Corps is Luca Parmitano. During his Beyond mission he performed 4 spacewalks to maintain the dark matter hunter AMSO-2. Source: Science and Exploration. Impressed words of this week. We all grace this planet for only a small amount of time, and if we can touch the people's lives through any form and make them laugh or learn from your story, it is great. Smart people learn from others' experiences. R. Swin, cricketer. Individuals need to be treated fairly in a team-like game. Gautam Gambhir. Articles. Good strategy for more value. Alex Brookman. Good strategy creates customer value. As a result, you make more money. Poor strategy neglects the customer. As a result, you destroy company value. It really is that simple. It doesn't mean that strategy is simple. But the underlying truth is. What would you add? Happiness a Matter of Choice by Dr. M. Wilson. Everyone wish to be happy always. But it's not possible for all. A person can be identified whether one is happy or unhappy through his face. Constant determination and practice of some techniques will make one happy. But it is very hard, and the failure in adoption of the techniques even for a day means people will be encountered with unhappiness. One simple way without all strain is adopting the moral code presented by God. The code is loving others as you love yourself. The degree of love shown to others should never be less than what one shows to oneself. All used to love oneself first. This is evident from looking our face and body many times in front of mirror, and also good dressing, applying creams and fragrant to make them look smarter. After that only we used to love others. That too first their parents, then children, then life partner, then only thinking of others. That too some will never think about others. Apart from that some will disturb others to the extent that a happy one becomes unhappy. If one has so much courage, honesty and duty conscious, they couldn't be shaken down by such kind of people. This concept is also evidenced from the words of God in one religious book. There it's stated that in a congregation all should feel as one body and one soul. Just like one part of the body of one is wounded, the pain is felt in all parts of the body. If one suffered and become unhappy, the others should also feel sad. Just like that, if one is happy, others should also rejoice together with them. If one practice for such kind of mind, then they will love others as they love themselves. But in real life one feels happy to see others are suffering and will be unhappy when others are happy. Only less than 1% of people are with the mind of loving others, at least to some extent. Others have to adopt some techniques to be happy. It has been presented as a chart as follows.